I started with a C guitar, and it was like, you know, like the table, and it was there's a red copy of like a Fender, you know. It cost, I remember, because it cost my dad £50 when I was 15, and that was a long time ago. And it cost him a lot then. He didn't have a lot of money, but I remember, then of course I didn't have an amplifier, you know, so I got this electric guitar that I really wanted, you know, no amplifier, so I ended up, I just destroyed the radio set, you know. And you could actually, with a solid guitar, you could like put it on the table, you know, and you put your ear on it and play, you know. And of course, then you play with a plectrum, I don't know what you call it in France.
Mediator.
A what?
Mediator.
Really? Cool. I was using a plectrum all the time. You know, all the time. That's what I wanted to do, and that's what I did use up until just a few years ago. I'd use like a plectrum, something like this. So you could even use this, like a book of matches or something. So I heard we're playing pop music and rock and roll music all the time, like this, which is, you know, the plectrum style, like that. But then the more and more you play with your fingers, right? Instead of the thumb just being down here and the fingers up the top, my thumb and fingers would get closer together. So, you know, instead of, say, you do something like this, it was thumb and finger, you know. And your thumb and finger start to do more and more. You know, and stuff like that. Which is just like thumb finger thing. And I was about, I don't know, I can't remember when, sometime in the 1970s, maybe about 74, I think, maybe somewhere around there, I realized that I was just using the pick, you know, less and less. And I could do more things with my fingers. So even like something heavy, you know, like you're really going heavy with a pick, you know, you'd be doing this thing like, I don't know, it's okay, but like with your fingers you can even do it, but you know. So even if you're doing like rock, you know, and you're driving along, you can still use, if you've got a good amp, you know, yeah, and it's pushing it out. So it was just like less and less. I mean, I still use a pick sometimes, but or a book of matches.
Do you think that from the beginnings of Dire Straits in '78, the success you get changed something in you?
I think, yes, I think it probably a little bit, but not essentially. Because I think that we were too old, you know, by the time it started. We weren't 18, you know. If we were 18, then maybe some of us would be dead by now. I think, you know, there would be much more casualties than there were. And I don't think I've changed essentially, but I think in the sense that being successful, it has lots of advantages. For instance, nobody interferes with what you want to do. If I want to do anything, I mean, if I wanted to record these bottles going like this, you know, and with some voices, and maybe a cement mixer and some buses, you know, then I could, and I don't think the record company would really have much to, I mean, I think we could say, okay, this is what I want to put out. Whereas you get the feeling that a lot of people who don't sell a lot of records, the record company would just say, no, we have to maybe do this. That never happened with me. And I've never been interfered with on that level. So that's good. You can develop freely you can do what you want without interference. And I think that's one of the great things about being successful. So I like being successful. I love it.